silence your cell phones. We have several bills today in a presentation, so we'll get right to work. First of all, I would like to ask, I don't see, there he is, coming in. Representative Kelvin Lawrence is going to offer our blessing, or not blessing, but our prayer, maybe a blessing. I'd like to have a blessing, but Representative Lawrence.
Good morning. Sorry I'm late. May we pray? Eternal God, our Father, we come this morning with bowed heads, humble hearts. First of all, just to say thank you, Father. Thank you for your many blessings that you've given us. We thank you for the blessing that you've given us. We also thank you for the blessing that you already have stored up for us. Now, Father, as we come into this meeting to do the business of the people of the state of Alabama, we ask that you would give us open hearts, open minds, to be receptive of all parties involved in this practice that we try to do here today. Bless us in your name, we pray, amen.
Amen. Thank you. Clerk will call a roll. Here.
Here.
Representative Lawrence.
Here.
Representative Lover.
Here.
Representative Stone.
Here.
Representative Wood. Here. 12 members and 2 quorums present.
Thank you very much. Any yes to recognize members? Representative Baker.
Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I have a page, Hannah Cottrell, if you don't mind, if you'll stand, please. Hannah is a junior at Opelika High School, and anyway, very glad to have her paging with us this week. Thank you so much, Mr. Chairman.
Welcome. Representative Ellis.
Thank you. Mr. Chairman, I'd like to recognize my son, Jameson Ellis, if you'll stand up. He's paging with me this week and managing my schedule, and he's head of security for me this week.
Great, welcome. Any other special guests? Representative Lovern.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I've got Charlie Harmon, a junior at Auburn University, majoring in public relations. He's interning this week in the rules office, so glad to have him with us.
Welcome. Any other members to recognize? Well, thank you. Welcome, and welcome to everyone. Again, we have several bills to get through this morning. Then we have a presentation by the Space and Rocket Center, so we'll look forward to that. First up, clerk will call the first bill.
Senate Bill 100 by Senator Chastain.
Senator Chastain, welcome.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman and members of the committee. I appreciate you letting me meet back with you. Had an opportunity to serve on this committee for many years when I was in the House, so it's always good to come back and see a lot of my former colleagues from the House. So thank you, Chairman. And I'd like to thank the clerk for assisting me in getting this bill to the front of the calendar since I have a committee soon. But each year, the Board of Medical Scholarships awards scholarships to medical students in the sum of $200,000 per student. And the scholarships are given with the understanding of the commitment that these students who are receiving these scholarships will come back when they finish their medical education and residency and serve in underserved areas of Alabama. It can range anywhere from 4 years to 6 years. And what this bill does is this bill creates the Board of Medical Scholarships in the state treasury. What has happened in many years past, not in recent years, but some of these physicians, once they have finished, they have decided not to keep their contractual agreement with the Board of Medical Scholarships, and they've had to repay their loans. So these monies have been collected, and they have been in a bank account, and there was an executive order requiring these funds to be deposited with the state treasurer. And I see he's in here this morning. Had a chance to visit with him and make him aware of this. So if there are any questions, I'll be happy to answer at this time.
Are there any questions for Senator Chastain? Representative Collins moves for a favorable report. Second by Representative Faulkner. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Bill's given a favorable report. Thanks, Senator Chastain.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the committee.
Clerk will call the next bill.
House Bill 123 by Representative Hill.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Appreciate the opportunity to be here also. I want to congratulate Representative Daniels. As soon as I walk up, he leaves the room. It's okay. That used to hurt my feelings, but it doesn't bother me anymore. I also now understand why you get so many bills on the House floor, and I want Mr. Lavorne from now on the Judiciary Committee. I'll swap you, Faulkner.
They come together, they're a pair.
I already got one of them, so I expect the other one later on this afternoon. Then. All right, real quick. The day board in St. Clair County is an entity that operates in collaboration with our schools, with our juvenile court systems, with our probation officers, with mental health, and with counseling groups that we have. The day board is an independent group. We serve somewhere. In fact, last year I think we served 119 young people. We serve them in groups of no more than 70 because that's our DYS licensing number. But the day board employees have requested that they be allowed to join the retirement system, the teacher retirement system. This would not cost anything. The contribution would either be made by the board, the matching party, it would be made by the employees. It would give us a chance to better be able to retain, folks that we have that work in this area. Now, some of them are already in the retirement system because some of our teachers are supplied by one of our two school systems, but some of them are not. Some of them we hire independently of those systems. So that is the purpose of this bill, is to allow them in the St. Clair County Day program to be able to opt into the ETF. And I'll answer any questions.
Are there any questions? I see that Nia Scott from RSA is here. She and I spoke about this bill, and RSA is in agreement. Has no issues. Any questions by members? Representative Baker?
Not a question. I would just say, being that this is no cost to TRS, and being they are in support at the proper time, then, Mr. Chairman, I'd move to give the bill a favorable report.
Motion in favor of report, second by Representative Lovern. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Bill is given a favorable report.
Thank you all very, very much. Have a good day.
Clerk, call the next bill.
House Bill 249 by Representative Garrett.
Thank you. I'll just stay here for a minute. All this bill does is to extend the sunset period for the Alabama Achieving a Better Life Experience accounts, which is the ABLE accounts, from December 31, 2025 to December 31, 2030. This was ABLE accounts are tax advantage savings accounts for children or adults with disabilities, and there are a variety of uses for this money, but it's a federal program. We have this, though, and Alabama passed a bill, I guess it was last year, and sunset was for 2025 going to 2030. I did speak with Representative Wilcox, Chairman Wilcox, a couple of weeks ago to make sure this did not need to go through Sunset Committee first, and I'm not sure, it was not on their regular. I guess the sunset since it's next year, did not come up this year, so she basically said, this is not part of on my radar, so that's why it's coming here today. And Treasurer Boozer's here if we have any questions for him about the accounts or anything, but I'll entertain a motion or questions. A motion by Representative Collins for favorable report, second Representative Drummond. All in favor say aye. All opposed? Bill's given a favorable report. Thank you. Clerk, call the next bill.
House Bill 236 by Representative Rafferty.
Welcome, Representative Rafferty.
Hey, thank you for the recognition, Mr. Chair, and thank you for hearing about my bill here, members. This bill is very simple. Under existing law, there's a variety of different exemptions and exclusions applicable to state sales and use tax. This bill would exempt the purchase of certain baby supplies, baby formula, maternity clothing, menstrual hygiene products, and personal use from the state portion only of the sales and use tax. And I'm happy to entertain any questions. And other than that, I would ask for a favorable report.
We've been hearing or reading about a bill by Senator Orr. This is the same bill?
So it's very similar to that one. There was one minor change they had to do in here to make sure that counties and municipalities had were not included in this. And if you look at page 1 line 26, it's just those four little words, portion only of the, between state and sales. That's what makes it clear here. That was a technical thing from LSA.
You're saying that's not in the Senate bill, that's in the Senate?
That's not in the Senate bill, that is in this bill.
Okay.
Correct.
But the Senate did amend their bill, I believe, to just include state taxes. Is that right?
That is correct, yes.
Yeah. So your bill as presented, well, do we need that amendment with the change he just made? Like with the fact that it says that this is are exempt from the state portion only, do we still need the amendment?
We don't need an amendment on
Dustin
this
says
particular
we do.
bill.
Okay. Let Dustin explain to us why we need the amendment as well. Okay.
Sorry, Mr. Chairman. Yes, the language as the bill is drafted only contemplates state taxes. It does not contemplate local taxes at all. So the amendment that I believe has been prepared and is in the packet is actually allowing local governments to opt out if they choose to. Without that, it's silent on local.
To opt in or opt out?
To opt out. Sorry. Yeah.
Wait, you stopped in, right?
To allow local governments to pass a resolution or ordinance to allow them to offer the same exemption.
Right. Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
Representative Almond.
Dustin, but if they have that ability even without us passing this amendment, yes or no? No? So if we don't pass the amendment, they don't have the option. Local governments do not have the option. Okay.
Any other discussion? Wait, Representative Lovern, do you look perplexed?
That's my normal look, Mr. Chairman. We were just having a discussion about the amendment and like to offer the amendment.
Okay.
Second.
So amendment offered by Representative Lovern, seconded by Representative Chestnut. Any questions or comments about the amendment? All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Okay, now I'll entertain a motion on the bill as amended. Representative Collins moves for favorable report for bill as amended, second by Representative Lawrence. All in favor say aye. Aye. All opposed? Bill's given a favorable report. Thank you.
Right. Thank you, Mr. Chair. Thank you, members.
And Representative Faulkner.
House Bill 204 by Representative Faulkner.
Mr. Chairman, you may go up or stay here.
Whatever you're comfortable with.
All right. Members, this is the sales tax exemption for the first responders, what's called the World Police and Fire Games, from the collection of all state, county, and municipal sales, use, license, and ad valorem taxes. This is an event that's being held in 2025. This is only for it's an athletic competition for first responders that helps them hone their skills in their jobs as professional first responders. It is only comprised the athletes of first responder, law enforcement, and local, state, and federal badged officers. It is about 10,000 athletes from 70 countries that will be here for that competition. It'll have about 50,000 spectators that typically go where this athletic competition is. It's estimated to have a $65 million economic impact over a 2-year period. The fiscal note is there in your packet, which you can see is $135,000. And I see there's an amendment that was on beside our binders, and I may need Dustin to explain the amendment.
I think what the amendment does is what we've been doing before, just exempts the state taxes, not the other. This is a little bit different situation, so I guess we can discuss whether or not we want to get the committee sense. Representative Almond?
Yes, sir. Just for the committee's information, the bill that is drafted currently, which hopefully I can file tomorrow, contemplates this type of sort of temporary situation, if you will. And so we include that as a category in the bill as being exempted if they otherwise qualify from state taxes only. So just wanted to let you know that is something we contemplated. We agree that it should be if they otherwise qualify, but we do limit it to state taxes only.
Representative Collins.
After hearing the last amendment, I'm wondering, does this one allow the locals to opt out of the tax if they would wish to?
Dustin, would you like to comment?
Yeah, Representative Collins. So the bill as drafted is more in line with the bills that y'all have been seeing earlier in the session, is where it exempts it from all levels of taxation. My understanding, there's possibly two amendments pending. The first amendment would roll it back to just the state only, which would be just like Representative Rafferty's bill came before you a moment ago, where adoption of that first amendment would only contemplate state taxes. The second amendment, if offered and adopted, it would allow a local opt-in, just like the amendment that the other amendment that you adopted on Representative Rafferty's bill.
So I only have one amendment, I think. Is there another one?
The amendment that starts off with document C43 is the one that rolls it back to state only. And then I don't have a copy of the one that was just.
I don't have a copy of what you just would.
Okay, that's the one that should be in your packet, I believe.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
I wasn't aware. I don't know if I had missed something. I wasn't aware of this amendment. And I know that the county and city involved here want this. And that's the way the bill is drafted, is for this. This is a temporary event to have the county and the city taxes withheld. So, I mean, I like the bill as is. If there's some insistence that we need to do it where the city and the county have to opt in, I guess.
So this is
do
the,
that,
so you're
but I'd
saying the
prefer just pass the bill as
Jefferson
is.
County and City of Birmingham are in support of the bill as filed, is what you're saying?
Yes, that's my understanding is and Michael Davis, I don't know if he's here, but that's my understanding is this is for this temporary event. This is to get rid of all taxes that would be applied to this event.
Mr. Chairman.
Representative Collins.
And I understand the goal of what we've been trying to do to not force things. I do see this as a different situation, and it's for promoting that area. They're going to get all kinds of other tax things, and I appreciate their willingness to, and I guess I would be fine to offer to give it a favorable passage as it is.
Yeah, so I think
And
the fact
one
there's
more.
local support and it's temporary in nature, what you're saying.
That's what I'm saying. I also have one more just request for us to consider. As we're doing some of these things that we feel value, I would love an I'm trying to say it without a double negative. I would love how we put our exemptions for the future if we give umbrellas that cover things, and I support that wholeheartedly. But to bring it to their attention, I would rather give them the ability to opt back into the tax if they prefer to. And I may be saying in or out wrong, but do you see what I'm saying? I would rather take the tax for everything that we say we're going to do, county, city, and state, with they may opt out of that legislation and continue to collect their tax if they choose to. I would just like us to consider that.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's a good discussion.
Mr. Chairman.
Representative Faulkner.
Yeah, I just spoke with Michael Davis, and both the city and the county are putting money towards this event, and very much are in support of this bill, not without any amendments.
So we have a motion for a bill favorable report. Is there second Representative Drummond, but she would like to make a comment.
Representative Faulkner, because this is a different situation, because there's a great economic impact to that region in Jefferson County, correct? Do you know what it is?
Well, Michael may be able to speak more on that. The number I had was that one I said earlier was a 65 million economic impact over a 2-year period. I might have to get him to give more, but yes, this will be, as we said, 50,000 spectators. You have 10,000 athletes all coming in for this event into
But it's
Birmingham.
not just for Birmingham, is it more regional than it is just locally?
Yes, well, with that big of an impact, it will. Mr. Chairman,
Yes,
Davis.
Mr. Davis, would you like to address the committee? Just a little more clarity on what the event is.
Absolutely. So I'm sorry. It's actually a 2-week period. It's a 2-week period is the time of the game. So this is a international sports festival for police and fire professionals. They'll have over 10,000 police and fire and first responders from all over the world, from 70 countries, coming to Alabama. It's basically a big police and fire convention wrapped around a sporting event. And so the sports are a lot of skill and professional development that are focused on like firefighters. They run up a ladder with hoses and, connect valves and shoot water, and they have a course for motorcycles and shooting. And so we've got 35 different venues around Birmingham, Talladega, St. Clair County, Shelby County that will host these events. This is very, 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 very different than the World Games in that these are not Olympic-style athletes, so they have to pay a registration fee to participate in the games. They have to pay their own lodging, their own meals. And what happens is these firefighters and these first responders come with their whole family. They make a vacation out of it. And so when they're here, they stay in the parks, they bring their RVs, they go to the beach, they play golf. So it's a really big get for us. And so and not only that, because the focus is police and fire, our first responders supporting the blue, supporting the red. It's a big source of pride for Alabama to be able to have this. These games have been held in Los Angeles, Tokyo, major cities in the past. This is an entity that's been in existence since the early 80s that have put these on every 2 years. It's every 2 years these events occur. And the model legislation that Representative Faulkner's introduced is the same as we did for the World Games, because we're all raising money. It's all sponsored events, largely by public entities like the county and the city and the state. We've got requests for the state to assist with this as well, got support for that. So the tax exemption is just less money we have to try to raise from other sponsors, and it's nominal.
Thank you. We have a motion and a second. Comment, Representative Baumann?
Yes, sir. Thank you. Just one last comment. First, I don't doubt that this is a great event and that the local people support it and want to participate and help it be a success. That's not really what this is about. Really, it's about trying to be consistent with the policy that we are trying to establish. And maybe we don't want the policy. To me, if the local people want to exempt their local sales tax, they can do that. The other way we might request it is to have a written resolution from the impacted local governments in our packet when we're asked to exempt the local taxes, and that would help us know for sure that the local people are on board with this. But otherwise, I would just say let's try to do it the same as we've done the others the last few times we've done it.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second on the bill as unamended. So all in favor, Representative Keel?
So you said the exemption is only for 2 weeks?
Exemption for the bulk of the games are for 2 weeks, but they have to purchase equipment and they'll start that process really 8-9 months out. So they have to buy a lot of sporting equipment. They have to buy T-shirts. They have to buy signage.
The exemption starts June 1st of 2024 and proceeds through December 31st of 2026.
Yeah, that just allows for back-end accounting and truing up of any sort of invoices and that kind of thing. So yeah, the event is a 2-week period, but they have to obviously do planning and building and construction of some of these sites and in advance.
I agree with Representative Allman. I think we need to be consistent. And, you know, we went through this on the House floor last week where we didn't allow cities to, you know, opt. I don't know. I'm with you now. I don't know whether they're opting in or opting out at this point, but whether to opt into exempting the tax or whether not to, we either need to do it one way or the other, I think, unless we're just going to keep doing it case by case basis, which is what we've done historically. Thank you.
So we have a motion and a second to adopt the bill as unamended. All in favor of that motion say aye. All opposed?
No.
Clerk, call the roll. Aye.
Representative Keel. Representative Drummond. Aye. Representative Almond.
No.
Representative Baker. No. Representative Chestnut.
Aye.
Representative Collins. Aye. Representative Colvin. Aye. Representative Daniels. Representative Ellis. Aye. Representative Faulkner. Aye. Representative Lawrence. Aye. Representative Lovers. Representative Stubbs. Aye. Representative Wood. No. 9 yeas, 4 noes.
I like it. We have deliberation and a vote. I like that. So Bill's given a favor report. Thank you. But I do think the comments are well taken. I think it's important we do have a policy and adopt a policy. And I do think let's think about that temporary situation. And I think your suggestion that maybe we have support in the packet, that might be something that sounds like a plausible.
Mr. Chairman, thank you. And members, thank you. And I certainly understand the folks that were, I think if I had known that kind of initially going in and we had had some time to talk about it, but in this particular temporary situation, I did think it was better to go ahead with what we had. But I certainly understand the comments of those that voted no there.
Sure. So I think we're in for a treat this morning. I had a brief meeting with Dr. Kimberly Rogers. Where is she? Robinson, excuse me. Where is she? Is she in here? They're back in the back. Okay. U.S. Space and Rocket Center. We had Space Day yesterday. And so we welcome you today to do a presentation to our committee. We appreciate all that the Space and Rocket Center means to our state and the work you do for our children, education, and happy to support you. Look forward to your presentation.
All right. Thank you so much, Chairman Garrett. I just want to say thank you. We are so grateful for the opportunity to be here and to speak for this distinguished body today. We were in town because we led Space Day at the Capitol yesterday, along with NASA and our aerospace industry partners. We had 500 students from middle school and high school come to the Capitol and have presentations from the governor, the lieutenant governor, and others, along with many exhibits and interactives, hoping to help lead them down a STEM career path. So today, my topic is going to be about the longstanding partnership between Alabama and the U.S. Space and Rocket Center and how Alabama benefits from this partnership. But first, in case any of you are new to the U.S. Space and Rocket Center or maybe just need a reminder about what all we do, I'd love to show you a quick overview video. And let's see. I think I do this.
We are many things here at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. We are an official NASA Visitor Center, TVA Visitor Center, and one of the largest Smithsonian affiliates. But we're so much more than that. As a home of Space Camp and one of the world's largest space museums, we are a place of education where people discover who they are and what they want to do in their careers. To put it plainly, we aim to inspire the spirit of discovery in all who visit through education and immersive engagement. This is done by preserving our historic artifacts, providing excellent guest experiences, out-of-this-world camp programs, and impactful planetarium shows that help foster lifelong learning in visitors. Located in Huntsville, Alabama, we are the neighbor of NASA Marshall Space Flight Center, the U.S. Army's Redstone Arsenal, and Cummings Research Park, one of the largest research parks in the nation. Their work earned Huntsville the nickname Rocket City, USA. And as you can tell from the rocket above me, nothing symbolizes Rocket City more than us here at the U.S. Space and Rocket Center. Our significance to the Huntsville community has often found us at the hub of community engagements in not just North Alabama, but the entire state. We have long given businesses local, national, and international a way to connect with citizens from all over the world through sponsorship opportunities and partnerships.
There's no better place to expose our future leaders, innovators, and entrepreneurs than an institution here in Huntsville, Alabama that's got a space and rocket center for sure, has an aviation program, but it has a robotics program, a cyber program. I mean, these are all the disciplines of tomorrow.
Our reach is global. Guests come year-round to experience what we have to offer here in Alabama. When they arrive, they're often changed by their experience at the Rocket Center. But not just children, adults too. Take a listen.
It's like better than Disneyland. It's taught me new things. It showed me new things. I've learned so much about rocketry history and space history.
Just being able to have that experience and the knowledge will really just prepare us.
It changed how I approached teaching in my classroom. It changed what we taught about. That really catapulted my life. It changed the trajectory of my path for really forever.
The impact we have here really does change the course of their lives. Look no further than our Space Camp alumni, many of whom now work in the aerospace and defense industries. Some are even astronauts themselves, who have taken the lessons they learned here with them to outer space.
Space Camp was an amazing experience for me. Going there just sealed the deal for me of what I wanted to do with my life.
People are at the center of our work. Through artifacts and on-site simulators, the mission has always been and always will be to inspire the spirit of discovery in all of our visitors.
All right, so just a little bit about our history. Our history together began in the mid-1960s when state leaders met with Dr. Werner von Braun to plan and ultimately build a museum that would both celebrate and demonstrate Alabama's role in space exploration. Since that time, our campus has grown from that original museum building into one of the most engaging science, technology, engineering, and math-based learning environments in the world. Each year, as the video said, we attract people from every state in our country, territories, and over 70 different countries every single year. We've had representatives from 150 countries cumulatively over the years. So for many of them, we represent their first trip to Alabama, perhaps their only trip to Alabama. As the #1 paid tourist destination in the state, we work very hard to make sure that we are bringing forth bringing forward the image of Alabama that we want to promote, and we are proud to serve as what we consider to be Alabama's biggest front porch. And we like to joke with our largest welcome mat, which is our Saturn V rocket. While we are honored to host our out-of-state guests, we really love what we can do for our own Alabama family. And that's what I'm here to just talk with you for a few minutes about today. One thing that we do that we are so excited about is our SASA program, which stands for Space Academy for Leading Students in Alabama. Working with the legislator, this program funds a scholarship to attend Space Academy to a male and female student between the ages of 12 and 14 from every legislative district in the state. So if you have someone that is worthy of this and needs a hand to get to see us, this is a fully paid for scholarship that they can come and be a part of. These students learn everything about the space program, how to work together as a team, to solve complex problems using critical thinking. They get to train like an astronaut using authentic simulators and then embark on their own simulated space missions and International Space Station and on the moon or on Mars. We also do Space Academy for Alabama Educators. This professional development program uses the format of astronaut training to convey new ways of teaching and STEM concepts through our teachers to the world's future workforce. The hands-on learning activities are designed to be easily replicated in classrooms and to excite students about STEM education in grade levels 4 through 9. This full ride scholarship for Alabama teachers includes meals, lodging, a flight suit, educational materials, and a certificate of credits for professional development. I will also say this is something that we do for the Teachers of the Year across the state. So all 50 plus the territories, Teachers of the Year come to the Space and Rocket Center. We like to say when you win the Super Bowl, you go to Disney World, but when you win Teacher of the Year, you come to Space Camp. In addition, we have ultimate field trips each year. In addition to the 50,000 students that we host as part of our residential program for Space Camp, we also host about 50,000 other students that come regionally through our ultimate field trips. And so they come for the day, and they have a directed learning experiences that includes a guided tour of the museum, interactive presentations, and science demonstrations, an intuitive planetarium experience, simulators, and hands-on group activities. For this, Title I schools can schedule and attend a UFT at no cost. In addition, a new program we started just 2 years ago is called Mission Blast for building leaders with adaptive skills for tomorrow. This is designed for our kids that have aged out of Space Camp, which is 9 to 18 years of age. So from 18 to 21, this was created through a community investment grant with Boeing, designed to reach local high school or any high school students who may not have ever visited the Rocket Center, but are looking for how to make the transition, how to do that in a 3-day leadership experience that talks to them about the professional world. They get to focus on communication skills, teamwork, leadership, gratitude and giving back, and networking to continue learning and development. It involves meeting professionals in the industry as well as an astronaut or two to talk with them about resiliency and what it takes to continue on the path to your goals. We also offer a 60% tuition discount to Alabama school groups when they schedule a week-long Space Camp experience. So this year, we will have probably 2,000 students that attend on just this discounted tuition. I will tell you, our Space Camp programs fill up every year. We're almost at capacity already for this summer with very few slots available. So making this available to Alabama school groups at this price point, we just think is a benefit that we want to give back because we want to see Alabama children doing well. And we are going to continue to find new ways to reach out. One, we're partnering with Representative Anthony Daniels on a program that will bring 64 students from rural Alabama counties to Space Camp for spring break. These are students who would not have the opportunity otherwise, and we're also going down into their counties to have activities available for them there as well. So we hope you can see from these offerings that we love our Alabama family, and we continue to find ways, we hope, to inspire and equip them for careers right here at home, creating the workforce that we need as we continue to grow in areas ranging from space exploration to ag tech to auto manufacturing. Our economic impact on the state was estimated in 2019 to be about $135 million, with about 2,000 jobs plus jobs resulting from it. We hire ourselves about 1,000 people during our highest season, so we actually think that number is much greater. So we have now, for 54 years, had a lot going on, and we are working very hard to work on refreshing our campus. To do that, Governor Ivey recently joined us last May as we opened our first new building in almost 20 years, the Space Camp Operations Center. This is tremendous, and it was a wonderful, wonderful help and a great private-public partnership. Through funding from 7 or 8 years ago, an economic grant, we were able to get started working on this building, and then with private donations, we were able to double that investment and pay for this building. At the time, we had students who were in trailers learning, and we had students who were at Costco fold-out tables in our lobby. And so we needed classrooms. And so this provided us much needed classroom space in addition to a cyber command center and a very large auditorium. On any given Friday during the summer, we graduate 1,000 kids. And so we have put together a 400-person auditorium where we use it 4 times on a Friday to get everyone through there, because it's not just 1,000 students, it's their parents, their families, and their siblings, sometimes their grandmothers and grandfathers that all come. And so we needed room for all of that. And now we've given them a building that is worthy of their aspirations and what they're trying to achieve. Here's another picture of that building from the outside. You can see the outside is actually modeled on the lunar surface. It is actually additively manufactured, produced from an actual map of the moon. So our latest is, I mentioned that our original building is 54 years old, and much like the State House, it's in need of some major repairs. And so one thing that we are looking forward to do in the future, so if you hear us talking about it, we want to make sure you know what we're saying. We're building a building between the Davidson Center, which was built about 20 years ago, and the original museum, which is 54 years old, and we're putting new space in there. The reason being that it's extremely hard to retrofit our 54-year-old building. I don't know if you've ever been there, but it's built like a fort. It's made of concrete, and it's very hard to put IT in it. It's very hard to have ADA accessibility and other things that are very much needed. So we are going to make this new part of the museum where we can welcome people to the state of Alabama. We can give them the experience that they demand and that our customers expect, give them the facilities that they need, and expand our exhibit space. One of the things that we want to do there is we want to tell people about what it means to live and work in Alabama. So we plan on having interactive exhibits that we can talk about the schools in Alabama, and we can talk about the work that is available in Alabama, because when students are leaving from a week of being at our campus, they are so excited, and they want to know how to plug in, and they want to know how to keep it going. And so we want to provide those experiences. Right now, we have for high school students, if you come, sometimes we give them their first college tour by letting them come and tour with local universities, including Auburn's Extension Campus in Huntsville. So we want to get them started on the right foot and know that Alabama is a choice for them. So we strive to honor the past while embracing the future. And again, I just want to say thank you to everyone. Thank you for listening today. And we want you to know that we appreciate and value your partnership and your investment in us as a center. We want to keep doing the good work that you've set us out to do. And when we do well, we feel like Alabama benefits. So thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Robinson. Again, we can't express enough how appreciative we are for the Space and Rocket Center, what you mean to our state, the services you provide, and just really look forward to continue supporting. Any comments or questions for Dr. Robinson from community members? Well, thank you again. Appreciate it. We stand adjourned.